Hello everyone and welcome to what I think is going to be something very fun and something very new, where we are in a kind of, well, normal Minecraft world, but a lot of other creators are doing these sort of like forever worlds where everything is on this world. They plan to keep this one forever. It's essentially the same thing. It's not, the traditional 2 week Minecraft addiction and then you never play again. And I was kind of inspired by it by like looking around. Oh my god, there's an armadillo, that's adorable. I was inspired by it looking around and I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to have a world that I actually kept and like kept up with over the years and like made into something more, special than just, playing for, I don't know, literally the 2 weeks that I would usually play. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to join this little group of people that are doing this and we'll see how it goes. I don't know how this will be structured as a series. It's sort of a let's play, which is very in fashion, of course, on YouTube. But, oh, there's a mushroom island or something over there, I guess. I have, so I do have mods installed. It was called like the Sodium Plus. I'll leave it in the description just to make sure that, it is known. But it was on the Moderith, I forgot obviously what it's called already, the launcher. And it was just like, yeah, simply whatever. It was like the lightest weight, most optimized thing. It came with things that I wanted, like the map, which was, for me always important. Do I remember how to get to the layer I'm on? No. But that's fine. I think if I actually just do that, there we go. So yeah, I've got that all added in and a couple of other little things that I thought just would be like a nice little addition. I do have shaders on. I don't remember actually which ones I included because I downloaded just whatever it came with, and this is what it started with. And I thought it looked pretty nice. I did have to go through and, change a couple of settings here and there, but yeah, it seems nice. It felt like a fun, just adventure, just to have something that is, you'll get to see the progression of being this, and then who knows, eventually I might have like a full-on crazy building style and actually be, half decent at building versus my usual, which is, I mean, not good. My track record isn't good when it comes to building or actually finishing buildings. So that's why I thought it would be fun. This is something I can not just play when recording, but I can, play at other times and, kind of give updates and just, things like that. I thought would be rather fun. Minecraft is one of those games that has changed my life, I would argue, for the better of, it's kind of why I do what I do and, met so many great people. I always think, it's opened up tons of, relationships. I mean, that's the reason that I'm married, is because of Minecraft, essentially. And then, I had a server at one point called Zanitor, and two of the server members of France, they met, and they're now married, which is pretty wild. So, I mean, it's been a big game for a lot of different people. I would love to actually have a like survival server again one day. My dream would actually be to be part of like an SMP of some description, just because I would love the idea of that. Because I was part of, hilariously, one of the original ones with Scotland and for Zach Scott Games, and that was probably one of the most fun experiences, and that was, in 2011 or 2012, so it's a long time ago now. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to try this. I was like, even if, I only update every so often or play like once a month, it's still being played and worked on or whatever, but I thought maybe this could be a recurring thing here on the channel, and that hopefully you may enjoy it. There's a little bit of weird reflections there. I don't know if you can see that. That was a little funky. I guess that makes sense, because there's a lot of going on. I can see super far because there's some like fancy chunk generation thing, which I thought was pretty neat. I didn't dare mess with the settings too much. I just turned off all the notifications of it telling me it was doing stuff. But I like how this looks. I think it's quite nice. I am going over this way just because I don't really want to be in the savannah area. I prefer to be in somewhere with a little more greenery and less orange. And my day is probably shortened a little more than it should be because I did have to mess with some settings and things like this. So I probably had a little bit of a day cut short here, but that should be okay. I should have probably taken out a couple of sheep to make my life a little easier there and have a bed at least, but we might still come across one here or there, but we'll see. I'm liking this little cherry blossom area over here. That's a little bit tempting. Now I am playing on the latest update as well, which is 1.2.1.12.11. I don't remember. Either way, I'm playing on whatever the newest version is as of February 5th. So, you know, bear that in mind. And yeah, it seems like it has a lot going on. I know there's like apparently zombies that can ride things, maybe in this or the next one. I'm not excited about that in any way, shape, or form. In fact, if I can avoid that, that would be great. I do have it on easy. I didn't choose like peaceful or anything, even though I do kind of prefer that sometimes. But I decided that, you know, it's better to have a little challenge and not, you know, just get burned out by it being too easy. So we are going to need some food soon, unfortunately. We did find sheep, which is nice, so this is going to solve a problem. You can see a thing with some crazy dripstone there. I don't know why, I like attacking with the axe more than I do the sword sometimes, I swear. I don't know why it feels like it's a almost better use. It's probably not in the slightest, but, you know, still. But there we go, we now should have, yep, 3 bits of wool. So we've made a bed pretty sharpish. We can even we can even make our bed, which is fantastic. So we don't have to fret about the knot in the slightest, which honestly, that's step number 1 for me. And of course, this is where I'm aiming for, because that has a chest and there's gold blocks, which I can't get just, oh my god. I can't get just yet. But I can shortly, and that would be nice. But I am going to kind of situate myself getting up here. I don't know where I'm going to you know, set myself up at fully. I love that I've got nether brick this early in the game. This might be the earliest I've ever gotten it. But hello, yes please. So a lodestone. I still don't know what the lodestones do. So that's something to probably, you know, figure out in time. And I didn't start with a bonus chest for once. Usually I'm always a big proponent of, yeah, give me a bonus chest. I love that, but I was like, you know what, for this, I'm just going to go full on nothing available to me. Yeah, you can see where this was doing stuff. Nothing available to me, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm happy with that. I think I want it to be not necessarily a challenge, but I want it to be as I did everything as possible. So that's sort of where we're at right now. I was hoping this would have a little bit more, but yeah, I want to mark this. So I do have the map enabled. I just gotta remember what button it is to do stuff. Is it B? It is, okay. So obsidian, sure. Portal-ish area. That's what we're gonna call it. And then I'm thinking, you know, this cherry blossom area might actually be what I would consider home, because it is quite nice. But yeah, you can see how it's like lower quality over there, but you can see it outside of what the chunks would be, and I quite like that. I like how it looks, and once I don't move as much, I guess it'll not have to run as hard and everything like that too, which will be good. But yeah, this is a nice little open area too, which is, you know, of mining, I should say. Not for building, but for mining, this is actually a nice little open area. So I can go and grab some coal. I'm going to grab some stone, because we're going to want to make a furnace pretty shortly. But yeah, I think I'm just going to record this in, you know, like a chill way. I don't think I'm going to like try to do anything too crazy. I'll probably, you know, take out any big, you know, weird spaces or anything, but I think for now this is going to be it. One thing I do need to fix though, there we go. I like having the little directional audio stuff, because I'm not the best of hearing, so it's kind of nice to have as like a little side thing, just to make me feel a little bit more aware of what's happening, because sometimes I just hear the sounds but I can't quite tell the direction. And also I keep my volume low because I'm weird. My ears are both sensitive, but also I can't hear very well. I don't know how that works, but it seems to it seems to be a thing. Okay, we have 17 stone now, so we can definitely make our way to getting a furnace and then getting some food, which I think is going to be rather important right now so we don't starve to death. I've never set up in one of these biomes before, but I mean, this just looks so nice. I love how this looks, and I think this would actually be such a nice little home spot. Okay, there, that's kind of tempting. We might have to consider that. There's like a little beehive here, which I think I remember how to do. There's a pig. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty dang cute. This could be a nice little area to be. So I think, I mean, I might do that. I might do it for the first time, like actually be in one of these little cherry blossom biomes. I don't know if there's any negative to being in them, but I guess we'll find out. Again, I guess, you know, it's a forever thing, so I can always move if I desire, or, you know, I could just go over here slightly and have it behind me, but I don't know, I kind of like the idea of the cherry blossoms. But this looks like a pretty, like, safe area to be able to, like, kind of, you know, look around, so I think that would be pretty chill there. Oh, like a river down there? That's quite nice. I do like being somewhat near a village. Is actually one of the only gripes. Maybe I'll continue looking a little more, but for now I will go ahead and make sure we at least get some food sorted out, because I think that's going to be important. This has Curse of Vanishing, but I'm going to put it on anyways. Okay, my head didn't vanish. I actually don't know how vanishing works, so we're going to find out together. I understand none of this information here, but it's very neat. I'm guessing this is like how many ticks it does and something of the sorts, but no clue. But yeah, cooking some mutton, so we should hopefully be sorted and ready to adventure a little more to find a home spot. But I'll keep that one in mind for sure. I should mention, I also do not plan to teleport. I don't plan on doing any cheating. It's all going to be 100%, you know, horses or whatever else, and just me roaming around and hopefully having a lot of fun. I feel like it would be. All right, all the mutton that we need. We should be set. Let's go ahead and grab these two things, and I was trying to see if I could see a little village or anything, but I don't have a visual on it. So let me go over here. I want to go this way and see if I can find any visual on anything. But again, I'm tempted to set up here. It's very nice. Okay, our first look at the vista this way. I'm not seeing any villages. I am getting a view of something over there. That looks like it's definitely a village, so that could be nice. Potentially a village over there that kind of looks like barrels or something of the sorts, but that's obviously fairly far away. But it's not like abhorrently far to where I don't feel like I can, you know, traverse to it in a day or whatever, so that would actually be okay. I'm sort of obsessed with building like little rail systems, so I could always build like a system to connect everything. It'd obviously take a lot of iron, but I mean, over the span of time, that wouldn't be that big of an ordeal. Maybe I can even learn how to make a vanilla iron farm at some point, because I don't know how to do that. So yeah, maybe if I go over here to this opposite mountain, it'll have a similar look, or maybe even down here, because it's quite a nice open area. Yeah, I really like, I mean, all of this is very cute as well, and there's water nearby, which could actually sort me out a lot better with traversability. And then there's the village just across the mountain there. I think that might actually be the way to go. So I'm gonna make my way over there, and I guess we'll sort of just claim it as our own and figure out the process from there. Oh yeah, this looks very nice. I actually really like the, oh. I should have just walked like 3 feet this way. Oops. I didn't realize that it was so close, but that's okay. I guess it just means that this was a good area, and that was all I needed to know, you know? Just happened to be also very close to where I've already slept, which is good if I die in some way. I'm only 200 meters from where I need to be, so it could be worse. So yeah, that's up over there, and then I could either set up here, perhaps down here, kind of in between this valley's a nice little spot as well, because it's nice and open. I don't mind actually being even closer to the water, because I don't know, there's something kind of nice being like quite close to, I believe at least. And then, you know, I could have a way to get up there at some point. I'm gonna go down by the water and just kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Is it just me, or does everything, like the grass, look just a little bit like plasticky? It's very interesting. It's very smooth. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Here, I'll check. So I believe the shaders currently used is the complementary. I forget how to say this for some reason. Complementary, reimagined. And then there's the Unbound, Fantasy Shaders Unbound, Fantasy Shaders, and Insanity Shader Universal, which sounds insane. I want to check out the Fantasy Shaders real quick and just see what that looks like. Okay, this is the Fantasy Shader. I don't know. I need to go back now to see the other one because it doesn't look that dissimilar to me right now. Yeah, I mean, they're very similar. This is back on the complementary one. I think I'll just stick with that, but yeah, they're not too dissimilar. Like, I thought they'd be a little bit more different, but I think the other one maybe is a hair broader. I'm not entirely sure. But nonetheless, I think I'm pretty content with this one. So we can actually see maybe the start of building over there. I might go over there first just to double check that it's, you know, not a better spot to be. But I do believe that either over here or in that valley could be good. Here's not so bad, but maybe this is a little too imposing. I'm not so sure. But yeah, we'll check that out in the morning and kind of see how it looks. All right, so let's go ahead and head on over there, see what we're looking at, and see if it kind of feels like a better spot. Because I don't know, I just feel like it would be. I just kind of feel like it would look a little nicer. How many days are we in already? And is there a way to quickly check? So I'm thinking where it says C in the upper left, the D, maybe day 8. I'm not entirely certain, but I think that might be how it is. I could be wrong. So over this crest, we do indeed start to see the other village. So that is great. Oh, there's a snow area too. Okay. Oh, I kind of like looking at that more than I like being on it, actually. That bunny kind of gave me a little heart attack, I'll be honest. Okay. You know, I don't hate this as an area as well. Because it's still accessible to everything. Over there is quite nice as well. But this, I mean, this could be a little too close to the village, especially if there's like a raid or something. So over there could be good, and then eventually building a bridge across could look really nice. So that's always a potentiality. Yeah, I think that could be the way, though again, I really do like looking at it more than I like kind of being up against it. I'll see what's on the other side, you know, just to be certain. But yeah, we'll have a quick little gander around. I'm just gonna see if they have anything that they want me to borrow for, you know, my own projects. Thankfully, they're really accommodating in that way. Oop, there we go. Oh wow, this is actually a larger village than I thought. Oh, I love that little pier is cute. Yeah, I mean, over there is nice, but it's quite hilly. I guess I could look back more towards the mountain itself and see what it looks like. I have not found a single chest yet. They're holding out on me, is what I'm learning here. Wow, okay. Maybe this one? Nope, okay. Wow, I can't believe I've not found a single chest or anything really useful yet. That's a surprise. I will take the hay bale though, because eventually that will be a nice one to have. I may be even able to trade to the farmer if he's wanting wheat, which would be quite nice. This one's a little bit of a jump, but we made it. And maybe upstairs? Oh, wow. I can't believe there's not a single chest in here. And by in here, I mean the entire village. You really could use some help here. Let me actually be nice here and then give you a way to actually get out of your home. There we go. I like the idea of maybe coming back in and rebuilding one of these villages at some point. Like to make, you know, all the slopes better and everything. I think that could be a really neat project, and then I don't have to deal with the terrain being bad while here as well. You do want wheat. All right, so we're about to get some emeralds pretty early on. There we go. And can I do it again? I can indeed. Nice, okay. And we could actually buy some bread and then upgrade him, which he should now be an apprentice. And ooh, yes, I'll take some pumpkin pies. Don't mind if I do. That's actually going to be so useful. Now I don't have to worry about food for a little bit, and maybe even in the future. it'll be a lot easier to handle because it's all sort of sorted out over there, which is great. So I'm just going to look back here real quick, make sure there's not like a spot that I also think looks amazing. But it's not, yeah, it's not selling me like the other locations. I mean, maybe down there. Let me check real quick. It's like one of those things I realized I don't really need to rush it. Like, much like in real life, I'm trying to embrace the sort of slow living and taking things chill and not really like stressing as much as I can, given everything. But, you know, stressing less as much as I can, I guess. And, I feel like that I need to bring that sort of same energy into Minecraft. So I'll stress as, you know, least as I can until a zombie on horseback comes at me, and then the stress will be maximum. But, you know, that's just kind of how that is. So I do like over here as well. But it doesn't have the same view as the other side, which I really like. I'm debating if it would be worth just being close to the village, but I don't know how close you can be and it not be a problem. But then again, I guess we could find out, and we could always move across the river if we needed to, or I could just start across the river, which is also not the worst option, and then could expand. But yeah, I'm kind of undecided on that one. There's like a biome transition here as well, which I mean is fine. It's not really a problem. It just like I wonder if this would get snow and the other one wouldn't, or something like that, you know? Because that's actually a little bit annoying. Oh no! Oh my god. Okay, we're fine. That was not ideal, but we're okay. Let's just get ourselves on out of there and yump across this time. Oh, that was so scary. I did not like that. Yeah, I think my favorite spot is up there, but I don't think it's necessarily ideal. I think maybe over here is actually such a bad bet, because then I can build something that goes across here and then I'm not too close to, you know, like be in the midst of something annoying. But also, I mean, the valley is still very nice, and it is close enough. I mean, it's a bit of a trek, but if I build some sort of a system, or if I get horses, I don't think it'll be that huge of an ordeal. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I think that's what I'm gonna settle on in the end. I know it's sort of back to step number one, but I had to explore the options. I also usually don't say this, but if you're enjoying this, please leave a little like and a comment if you don't mind. It's really quite a big help nowadays on YouTube, and you know, follow along. And as I do more of this, I plan to do a lot more of this, and you know, playing like little indie games and just having a fun time and trying to be a cozy spot on the internet, which I feel like could be used right now. So yeah, if you do all that, I'd appreciate it very, very much. So yeah, I do think here is actually quite nice because I'm surrounded by quite a lot of variety. It's got quite an expansive view, which I think is actually really nice. And then there's quite a lot of flat range to be able to build a house and farms and things like that. So I think I'm legitimately just going to start sort of doing this and making my own space. And then, well, I guess like maybe not necessarily build a house this time. I think that'll be next time, but we'll start gathering stuff for doing so. I'm going to need a nap though. Alright, so we'll definitely go ahead and get the chest down, get the crafting bench all down. I think just getting a setup of items is going to be ideal, just to sort of be prepared. And I don't know what I build the house out of. I'm thinking probably just wood, obviously. I don't know what the cherry blossom wood looks like, but I feel like that could maybe be a nice one. But I'm also just a fan of oak. But I mean, the thing is, with how long that I plan on doing this, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything specific. I can always, you know, sort that out down the line. So I'm not too stressed about it, which is a pleasant change from my normal. I am going to go ahead and turn this into iron ingot because it might be useful down the line. Maybe a flint and steel if I need it, but I don't really need that right now. but it is an option. Let's see, should I... There's some iron, but I don't have a stone pick yet. I'm waiting to do all the stone stuff just because I've already got this pick and I don't feel like, you know, changing it out just yet. But I am going to go over here and maybe check out if there's any sort of area. There we go, that's what I wanted. Yeah, just a little area to go mining within. I do wish now that I brought the coal, but I think I might just get some within like 2 seconds if we're lucky. Yep, literally not even 2 seconds, even better. But I wanted to go ahead and get this so I can make some torches, give us some lots, and be able to carry on a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna collect some items, hopefully get us prepped. There we go, we have torches in the hand, which gives off light, which I love. Always one of my favorite things with the resource packs. I don't know if regular Minecraft does that now, like just plain vanilla, but I don't believe so. Alright, so we're coming across some copper, some dripstone, which is definitely abundant. Oh, don't get that with that. I didn't realize you couldn't take it. Alright, so a quick little dead end. That's fine. Just work my way back out there. I will keep this lit up just so hopefully we don't get spawning in the future. But I might use this as like a little hub just to, you know, be able to get deeper into a mine at some point. But for now, I literally just could use some stone. Maybe I could even start with just a really basic, you know, stone, you know, cobblestone mixture home of some description. And I think that would be totally fine. But I guess we'll find out. I'm about to lose this axe, which is also okay, because I should be able to just go ahead and switch it to a stone one pretty quickly. I'm just happy to have used it up. And there we go. I'm gonna make a crafting bench that can just stay within here. And there we go, getting an upgrade. It would be kind of a neat thing to try to get all of the achievements as well. I've never done that. I've never truly beaten the game on my own, because I've always played it with someone and did, you know, like the end or something. So I mean, trying to do the Ender Dragon at some point on my own and like all that stuff, and you know, getting the Lockdra and just deeper into the game could actually be quite an interesting feat. That could be very far away because I would love to be absolutely overkill good for that kind of situation, personally. So, you know, maybe at some point, but that's not in my immediate future. Most definitely. It's really interesting though, the amount of content creators I saw doing, you know, these forever worlds, and it just seemed like, I don't know, when I saw it, I was just like, yes, this makes sense, because it was something that I always wanted to do. My favorite part about Minecraft, and almost just about any other game, unfortunately, is the restart. And I think that's why I've done it so many times. I think it's really easy to just want something fresh and new constantly, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think there is like some sort of a mental benefit if you actually stick to something and, you know, see it out and build this vast world and everything. I believe that's why, you know, there's a big love for like those 100-day videos and like all this stuff. And I was like, you know what, maybe this is what I need to be doing. Maybe I need to, you know, give this a whirl. And yeah, I don't know, it feels right. So I feel like that's good, because sometimes I'll start recording a series or recording a video and I'm like, I don't know about this, and I'll just stop. But this one, no, I'm actually, I feel confident in it. So we'll see. Obviously, things could change, but we shall see. That was a lot of raw copper to get, by the way. That was very quick. I do want to maybe go get that iron. Where was that? Over there. Also grab some coal along the way while climbing. Always going to be useful, especially with smelting all this new stuff. Ooh, another little cave to check out as well, which is pretty vast. Okay, but not too vast. I feel like I almost just need a copper house at this point with how much I'm getting, but I'm pretty sure that would look fairly ugly. Although a copper roof, I guess, isn't out of the question. I've not done that before. Like, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a pretty thing, but maybe once it's aged and all that, I don't know. It's not something I've tried before, so maybe that does give me a reason to do so. A stone pick is going to be dead before I even get out there, which is hilarious. There was just too much stuff in this little area to mine. I got so much copper out of it. I guess I'm going to make yet another crafting bench for in here. Although, no, that's kind of wasteful, but, you know. I like how that looked like everything was on fire for a moment. I was actually a little wary there, but that's fine. I'll do it anyways, because I'll come back for it. I do maybe want to go to bed at some point because I don't really want monsters like spawning all around here. That doesn't sound like a fun time for sure. No bueno for sure. Yeah, I might skedaddle back. Yeah, I'm not ready to face the monsters at this point. Especially just the idea of one of the zombies on horseback or whatever coming at me just doesn't appeal to me. That just sounds like something that's going to make me jump, potentially soil myself, and just not have a good time. But you know, that's how life works sometimes. And I totally forgot with copper you can actually make items out of it too, and I did not know that that's... I know you could... Oh, can you not make bundles? I don't actually know. I don't know how bundles work. And also the harnesses. Totally forgot that was a thing. I can make copper armor, which would actually be pretty nice this early in the game for me. So I will take that. I don't know it's spears. Sorry, I didn't realize spears were a thing now. You can tell how much I know about Minecraft nowadays because I had no clue that was a thing. But that's really, really neat. That's kind of wild that's a thing. But let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I could take that off, actually. So that was +2 armor. This is, okay, +2, +4. Okay, I mean, that's not bad. Not at all. Now I'm gonna go get that iron. And I'm gonna focus on getting the iron this time. This is bugging me, I need to fix. There we go. Alright. See, with a little bit of focus, we can get it. Like 15 minutes after I said I was gonna grab it originally. But we got there in the end, so that's fine. And all is well. But yeah, there we go. I think that that's gonna be good. It was only 4. I was really hoping it was a larger, you know, vein of it, but ow. But that is the problem sometimes with, you know, iron. It's not quite like copper and quite like, especially coal. Like, they go on forever. I mean, this copper one actually really goes on forever. That's why I think I'm quite a big fan of the tools and stuff, although I've not used much of it. I guess I really should consider using it more to be able to save the iron down the line. But I don't really know how... I don't know the efficiency difference. I'm too like non-versed in it anymore, so I guess that's going to be something to also figure out. But granted, once I get diamond or netherite stuff, I probably would just use that. But that's, again, we're talking a ways away. Of course, I should find a big thing of coal underneath this and have to dig it all out. Alright, that was a lot of coal, but we got it. I think I have, yeah, I got like 28 from that. That's pretty happy days, honestly. And don't worry, there's still more. Alright, successfully pillaged from there. I'll take this with me just so I don't go back up there, I guess, because there's no real need. Unless I need stone, I guess. But I think we're good now. And I got the iron that I needed. Yeah, I think we are set, at least for the time being. Once I get, I guess, diamond stuff, I can start to take from there a little more, but I don't really need that for now. Really just, you know, seeing what we got. I do want to see what this cherry blossoms wood looks like, because I'm assuming it's quite nice with the pink, or cherry log, I should say. I assume it looks rather nice. I don't think I've personally built with it before. I think my wife has on a server we had, but I don't think I ever like chose to build with it myself, so it could be a fun one to actually give a whirl. Trying my hardest to cut it all down as well, so I don't leave the bits of shame, though it's very easy to leave bits of shame when they're built like this. Wowee. Alright, I believe that's all of it, but it's okay. Yeah, it's disintegrating. We're good. We're decaying, I should say. So that, oh, okay, that is quite nice. Now that in combo with copper, I don't think it's gonna look so nice. But in combo with maybe like a stone brick or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I would do for the roof. I'm thinking like a stone brick roof, but I'm not so certain. I guess that'll be something to figure out. I may consider planting some down actually where I'm at, just because I think it would be a little easier you know, to, you know, harvest and everything, not have to take so many off of the mountain, which I think would be rather nice as well. I'm going to plant one up here just because it would look good, kind of replace what I've taken down. So yeah, I'm going to put one here, and then I assume it's a single one, because yeah, I would imagine so, because it's not like the dark oak where you have to do like 4. That's what I was trying to show, and then I realized I didn't have 4, but that's fine. But yeah, I'll just kind of plop them around. I don't know if I would keep them there, but it's more just like having maybe like kind of a orchard or whatever to take from. Don't remember what's actually called when it's a for lumber, not for fruit, but that's the best I got. So there we go. You know what? I think 47 is good for now. I think anything beyond that, we might just be getting out of sight of need and more just doing it because we're doing it. So I'm gonna play it safe and not use too much. But yeah, the cherry planks I think look really nice. Maybe with the oak plank floor, just because I think that would be a good, like, I think it would look good as a combo. We'll just check here. So yeah, I think that looks fine. And then I think, I mean, even a cobblestone roof would look okay as like a temporary. But we could also go, you know, stone brick. I think both very doable. So I think that'll be kind of where we go. But I want to thank you so much for watching. I look ridiculous, but that's fine. Don't worry, I'll bring out this and I look much cooler now. Totally. Just switching in my hands. Awesome. Maybe if it's you. Nope. Still looking ridiculous. But yeah, whatever. I don't know why it looks so funny to me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This guy that can zoom in and remembering it happens. But no, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the love that you may have given and all the comments and stuff ahead of time. I'll chat with you down there, of course, because that's always fun. My chair is cracking because it's old, but you might be hearing that in the background at times. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love, and I'll see you soon. I don't know when, but soon.